Stream, and
They
it's
can
up.
hear me?
They can hear you.
All right, what's up, stream?
Alrighty. So let's get started. It's 7 o'clock. Thank you everybody for tuning into this stream.
What's up?
Who are you? Who are you?
Hi, my name is Brandon. I work at Twitch, tag Atrioc. And ever since I started working here, Bobby Scar got me into Melee, and now I'm like really into it about 1 year later. And super trying to get better. So when you approached me this, I was very excited.
Awesome. So just to recap, what Zero to Hero is, it's inspired from the cut. He actually did this first, and I didn't really know what he exactly did, so I kind of copied him without knowing that I was copying him.
I heard you're a traitorous thief on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm really bad, and I feel really bad, or I should feel bad.
You should feel bad.
And so the reason why I'm doing this is because a few reasons. Mainly, when I look at online Melee resources, there's a lot of great tutorials on how to wave dash and how to do these little techniques. Like, so I'm pretty sure you watched an advanced how to play video, and now you know L cancel. You know what the techniques are. And
I know the techniques, but I don't know what to do with them.
Yes, and so there's a lot of things that aren't really explained in terms of strategy or game theory, and if you don't really come from a Street Fighter type of background, then the concepts like zoning, mind games, like just controlling your opponent, like these little things don't really come intuitively for a really long time. Would that be is that how you would say your experience has been so far?
I feel like the only way I pick them up is if like Mango or someone says it offhanded during a stream or an interview, and I'm like, oh, I never thought about that. You can never find like a tutorial video or anything concrete on stuff like spacing and things like that. So yeah, I would totally agree.
So what's your experience so far? How long ago did you first start?
A little under a year. I would say maybe like 11 months. This is when I first picked up a controller to play this game without items for the first time. First time I got hired at Twitch. I started. Oh, sorry. Wait, I got my stream. I can hear you talking twice. All right, here we go. Yeah, so I started playing. Everyone was bad here, and slowly we learned how to wave dash and all the technique stuff, but we're still losing pretty badly in tournaments, so I want to figure out how to get to that next level.
Okay. And then, is Scar a good coach, or does he just tell you that you suck?
Scar's a terrible coach. No, I don't want to. Scar got me into this game, and he told me he taught me how amazing and beautiful Melee can be, so I have to give him huge credit for that. But he's more into Street Fighter lately, so he doesn't play very much with us. And when he does, it's a quick, 4 stock, 3 stock, and then like, you suck, that kind of stuff. So.
How'd you do at Apex? I saw that you were there, and I watched your first match.
I did. Thanks to your coaching, I think I won like 2 pools games and then lost the rest, something like that. I think it was like 2 and 2 and out. So that was pretty sweet.
Before we continue, they said that your mic's a little low. Is there any way?
Let's see if I can boost that. Maybe I put it closer to my mouth. I don't know. You might have to turn me up on your end, if possible.
You're already on max on like my end.
The struggle. Let me see. Let's see what I can do. Recording devices, microphone, properties, levels. I'm already at near max. I got max boost too.
Dude, how do I make you go louder?
Oh, maybe it's coming from the webcam. It's problem. Test.
All right, how do I lower mine? All right, maybe we can
hear me all right. Yeah, I'll just sit closer to this microphone. I think maybe my headset's not doing anything.
All right. Gosh, I'm such a scrub when it comes to it. All right,
hey.
What if we put the mic more further away from my? Okay, that's good. All right.
All right, we're good. Oh, we got Cheap Fish in the chat. What's up?
Okay, very cool. And it looks like we're good to go. So I'm not sure if you see the PowerPoint slide. I
do. It looks very fancy. Zero to Hero, week 1, planning for success.
Yeah. So
it's beautiful.
So just to give the audience context, we do send each other emails. He sends me matches, and overall we're gonna play it slightly by ear, week to week. So I don't have the full like 10 to 12 week plan. We're just gonna go dynamically. So we'll have a set plan for like maybe the next week, but overall I'm just gonna be looking at where Atrioc is in terms of different things and what we can do to improve. And we'll be doing some stuff off stream too, so not everything that we talk about will necessarily be recorded. And it's awesome that you have multiple training partners, because I think that's one of the most important things. I feel bad if you have to just whoop Ben SW all the time. Now you have.
It'd be the worst. It'd be the worst life.
Now
we actually have D1 and Blur. They just started today, first day. They're in there playing right now.
Very nice. So one of the most important things of training is just trying to find a diversity of people. And so because like I think if you play one type of player, like you get used to their habits, and it's not so much that you're beating them or you're beating them fundamentally, you just know their habits.
Absolutely.
All right. So it can be really tough. Like the early days of Melee, like Melee is a tough game full of like little nuances. Like so like I can't really like explain like everything, but like hopefully like at the end like I could get yourself to ask you like questions to say like, oh, like what can I do to get better, and help you like guide yourself. So one thing that's really important is just like asking yourself questions that center around like why or how. And I think when we watch like a Mango video or like really high level video, we tend to go like, wow, that was an amazing combo.
That feels cool. Yeah, we don't know why you did it, or yeah, exactly. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, and then when you play some scrub, you're like, wow, I think I could beat him, and then they destroy you. They get like 3 or 4 stock, and you're just like, well, like why am I losing? And so, so some questions to consider are, A, why am I getting hit? That's the most fundamental thing that you want to ask yourself. Like if you get hit, there's an adage from Isaiah, like don't get hit.
Don't get hit. Don't get hit, bro.
And when you watch really good players, they they will control you in a way that you will get punished, but you won't know why you get punished until 5 seconds later. So that could mean that they could be taking your stage away, they could put you in shield, and so even before you get hit, there are typically a series of reasons why you got hit.
That's what I want to learn, Tafo. Tell me, teach me.
All right, so let's go to a not so fun video.
Is this my Okay.
All right. So within.
This is my 0 video.
Yeah.
You have to watch another.
So within 2 seconds, you get yourself into a checkmate situation.
Let me see what I'm saying. All right. Yes. 2 seconds in.
Do you know why this is a checkmate situation?
Did I start on top platform? I didn't see the video started. I just fell down on him?
Okay, let's start over.
Here we go. Yeah, okay. I know that being above Marth is probably not a good place to be.
Okay, so this is... Yes, so that's probably the reason why you got hit here. I'm not sure if you do get hit, but I'm pretty sure this will lead to bad things. And so now, like, you got out, but, like, you were in a panic mode for a while, and now you're stuck in this, like, bad position for a while. Ooh. So if we retrace this back, like, you get stuck here, and then you have to panic spot dodge.
Yeah.
And so one bad spacing decision leads to a series of others. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Snowball effect.
Yes. So let me go back to the slides. There's one slide I want to point out, and this will help you set around like how do you position yourself. So think of.
This is amazing. This is like.
Oh, go ahead.
Slideshow. Tafo, this is amazing.
Yes.
I can just see they're beautiful.
So in any matchup, if you ever want to prepare like more of the micro spacing on how you should zone, just think of your character as like a numpad. So do you see the little numbers?
Yep.
Around
1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yep.
So this is like something you can apply to all characters. Whether or not you're playing Sheik or you're playing another character, you should always think of like no matter what position you're in, whether you're on the ground, whether you're like, whether you're, I guess, jumping in the air, like what numbers are your character good at?
Okay.
So with Sheik, obviously that 9 position looks pretty good because of that back air.
Right.
But in certain character specific instances, like if Falco were to hit you with a down air, you wouldn't want to be right below him.
Which is what usually happens to me in that situation. So.
Yeah. So in this like really kind of specific example, you want to zone for success. So even before you interact, you want to know how your hitboxes work. So I write here, Falco can threaten with dare and better aerials if Sheik is directly below. So if Falco just does something as simple as like down air to the left, you're stuck in a bad position. So you want to avoid those bad positions and focus on getting good positions for yourself. So if you apply the reverse principle, you want to ask yourself, well, what is Falco not like? What is Marth not like? What makes him uncomfortable? And that should be the basic idea of how to zone and how to like what spacing you want to look for. Does that make sense?
Just make them uncomfortable?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That's cool.
All right. Going back to the match.
Yeah, let's see the match.
Okay. So you get stuck here, and obviously this is the beginning of your punish. Very fortunately, you get out. But we're just going to keep playing the match, and then I'll just kind of narrate.
Sure.
Yeah. So, like, even though, like, Dewan didn't, like, get a direct combo, do you see how much control he had over, like, how limited you felt? So, if you even just look here, you're stuck in bad positions the whole time.
I felt like that in the game. I felt like, it felt like he was playing a different character than the normal Marsai plays.
Yeah. And so, even here, you're invincible, right? But you already gave up position here by taking your whole invulnerability. Like, you got to charge four needles. But was that really worth it to... now you're stuck on that top platform and you can't control anything.
Yeah.
So, overall, like... So I'm talking more of a low level, like, or higher level concepts right now, but just to show you, like, the difference between, like, a really good player and, like, a player like us, like, because...
Like you. Player who sucks.
We got Bobby in the building.
Sup, Bobby?
He's pointing it out. Tafo says hi.
What's up, Tafo?
Did you get
hear your headphones.
So you can hear it? Yeah, I gotta keep them loud, dude. We're going over how I got destroyed by, yeah, it happened. I meant to get it.
Alright.
Alright, so, yes, as you were saying.
So... when you play it, you want to get to a point. This is like your dream. Like, Shroom would be an example of a really good player, and I just want to point out why he's a good player. First of all, he always has control over, like, weaker players, and this game is a lot about control, limiting your opponent's options while you get to keep as many options as you can, because options are good. And once again, like, even when, like, he doesn't get the punish, he still has you in, like, really good control. In contrast,
just looking at, like, how often he's closer to the center stage than me alone, I'm, like, noticing. I didn't even notice that when I first watched it.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always on the outside, coming in from, like, top angles or left and right, and he just keeps pushing me away or then comboing crap out of me.
Yes. So, you hit a really good concept, and that's overall, like, especially for this match, any character that really dash dances really well, to beat them and to, like, the start of beating them relies on you eliminating their dash dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems incredibly difficult for someone like Marth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand.
But in contrast, so every time a good player gets a hit, they will go to town with it. And when you get your hits, if you're a newer player, you don't go to town with it. Either you get one follow-up and you give up stage. This is just generally talking with new players.
Sure.
Or you get so nervous and excited that you do something silly.
Hello?
Hello?
Hear me? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I've been guilty of both. Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I imagine in this moment here, you got so excited that you got a hit. You're like, oh my gosh, I got a grab.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So that's not only the bad part. Notice how he's positioned around your dash attack. Like,
I don't see.
Well, you're in lag. Like,
sure.
Dash attack is laggy. He can just hit you, but he doesn't. But he messes up too. But now, like, the end result of that whole skirmish is
I did like a tiny bit of damage, and he's got full stage again.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
so we'll just keep going on just to show the stream the match.
Sure.
We'll go at a faster pace. Still has control. You messed up the DI. But that's understandable, and that just takes experience. So a lot of this is actually really just boiling down to experience. I think even a Marth like Crimson Buster will help you improve.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why do we hire him?
Yeah, exactly. You do have some nice escapes, though. I have to give you that. Alrighty.
Oh, ouch! That one really hurt. That hurt.
I don't know. It looks like you're having a good time in this match.
I was having a blast actually. I'm a huge Shroom fan, you know, so to be able to play him is it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
He's one of the nicest guys in the scene.
Yeah. But notice how you're always getting grabbed, you're always stuck on a platform, or you're always cornered.
Yeah, I'm just noticing how he gets so much more off of his hits than I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming he's gonna beat me in everything aspects anyway, but like, he gets like not only more damage, but also the stage control. I didn't notice that until you started pointing it out.
Yeah.
Oh, that was me. I live. As far as I remember, my goal was to not get force locked.
Yeah.
I think he started styling a little bit, so I might have had a shot.
So.
Yes.
You can see my true passion, my excitement.
I'm excited for you. Alright.
And then I'm done.
All right.
Done. Wrapped.
So there is one thing, a moment I really want to highlight, and this is like kind of just experience, but so you go low here, right?
Yeah, that was.
Your window of opportunity is as high as here, and
sick tech.
yeah,
This high tech. Yeah.
Yeah, and so clearly, there's noise in your background.
Oh. Sorry about that. I think we're having a conversation. Should be over pretty soon.
Okay, cool. So overall, like, another concept just to think about. This is something I'm just noticing on the side that I'll just tell you is like, this is like the worst type of thing you could do. Mainly because they can get around you and look at the end result again.
Yeah.
So
sucks.
So now do you see how an opportunity is lost, and how it's not necessarily you get directly hit, but there is a list of reasons that lead to the hit.
Right.
And so that's one thing to consider. That's a higher level concept that I don't really expect you to get right away, but just something to consider.
In the zero phase.
Yes.
That's when in the hero phase I should be able to do something.
Yeah. So it always comes down to a concept that I call chess, not checkers. As you play better players, they will form a punish or take control of you 3 to 5 seconds before they actually get their hit.
Okay.
And the
It's
thing,
actually really surprising to me.
yeah.
Because like when you watch a top-level match, at least as like an amateur perspective, it seems like it's all micro in the moment stuff. It seems like they're all reacting. So it's super cool to hear that like they have like more plans than that.
Yeah, the one thing, so if you actually watch, it's a thing of art to actually watch a floaty character control space. So as like kind of a homework thing, if you ever watch like Armada or Hungrybox play against a Fox as their respective characters of Peach.
Well, that would be Armada's old character.
Armada's old character, yes. Just really watch how they corner a Fox, because normally, like, a Fox can just run around in circles and shoot lasers, right? So it's like, well, like, the common new player question, I guess, like, well, how the heck do I stop him from doing that?
I've got that question. Against Falcons, yes, so absolutely.
So just really just watch how they take control of the stage and inch their way to choke their opponent, and then squeeze out as much damage as they can.
That's super cool. Yeah, absolutely.
And another thing I've noticed, and this will highlight in your next match, is aim to work game plans to control your opponent before you get your checkmate. So the converse. Okay. And the reason why, and this will really show up in the Bobak match, is I think when you play new players, you can just hit them. Like, they have no problem
you
getting hit.
And you hit them over and over. That's what I feel like I'm always doing against other players of my skill.
Yeah, and that teaches you bad habits because when you play good players, they're throwing out moves to zone you out and corner you, and not necessarily just to hit you directly.
I agree, because when I play Scar, that's when I notice.
Yeah, because you'll throw it in 4-tilt, he'll dash dance away, and then he'll dash in.
Yeah. He just baits me out into bad stuff all the time. That's cool. I agree.
And so, overall, like the classic example I can give of this is Martha's down tilt. That down tilt is aimed to zone you out, but it's also to kind of force certain things. Because once you see that down tilt, it's like, oh crap, now I have to jump to beat it, right? And so by doing the down tilt, I'm forcing you to jump, and I could get you into something else. To give a very basic example of like a chess setup.
Makes sense.
All right, and
so like you, from experience, kind of, you like figure out what the reactions are to certain moves.
Yeah.
Then okay, that's cool.
And this will make a lot more sense as you play better players, and you get to watch them. Is why do they do certain moves? And it's each move begins to have a purpose, and it's not really random. They're aiming to eliminate things and control you, and they're aiming to look to control specific things. And this leads to my other thing about as you get better, this is something to consider, is when I play, when I used to be really bad at this game, or when I used to be really bad at poker, I used to ask questions that give 3-worded answers to. So I'd ask like, so what do I do with pocket jacks? And my friends who were better at poker would always say, it depends. Like, and that really frustrated me because I wanted an instant answer. Like, just tell me to raise or
tell me exactly what to do. Yeah.
And likewise, when I played Melee, it's like, oh, what do I do in this situation? And people would be frustrated with me because they would tell me, like, well, what do you mean? There's many different things that can happen. Or they'll give me really generic advice. Like, if you were to ask me, what do I do against ice climbers? And I only had 10 seconds to work with you.
Such a huge open-ended,
I would just tell you, don't get grabbed. Like, but that doesn't help you, and that doesn't help me, right?
Sorry, yeah.
Like, me telling you don't get grabbed, you don't really leave with anything super profound that you didn't already know.
Yeah, like you were planning to get grabbed before.
Yeah. So the point I bring up in this slide is that as you begin to get better at the game and you begin to form base game plans, so maybe your game revolves on grabbing your opponent, right? It's like, how do you beat Marth? You grab. Well, okay. Well, what do I do from there? Well, what percentage are they at? Then you start asking yourself, well, based on percentage, like, what's the stage? What's the position? What are the platforms? And you begin to unravel more and more about the character and how you play against them. Does that make sense?
Does make sense.
So you start off with something like higher level. What are your goals? So let's go talk about Sheik versus Falco.
Absolutely. This is the matchup I play every day. I play this matchup multiple times a day, every day, so I'd love to learn more about it.
Okay. So to break this very easily, well, you can do this model for every character. Is basically, how do you rack up damage in that?
Should I answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so generally in Sheik versus Falco, I rack up damage by getting random stray hits until they're above 40%. And then
what are those stray hits?
Usually dash attacks, random needles into grabs. Almost always my dash attack. Like, I usually get punished for a lot of these hits. Like, I'll do a dash attack, get shined off it, but I've got the 13% or whatever. I'll do some needles. I'll probably be okay. I'll do back airs, space back airs. That kind of gets me hits. I do these random space hits. Try to get nairs out of shield. And then once I get above 40, usually I can try to combo with like F tilt or dash attack and do a kill. That's kind of like my. Or I go for back throw grab. Like, grab the back throw off the edge and then try for a game.
Okay.
Those are like my only goals. I had to.
Very cool. So a couple things. There's a reason why dash attack doesn't work, and you alluded to this because there's crotch canceling, which is an interesting dynamic in Melee. Right?
Yes.
So you want to avoid anything that can really just avoid anything that just directly leads into your opponent getting a free hit on you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
But because in the moment I feel so desperate to get that percent up, I end up doing whatever hits I can take. And I don't think about, what's the consequences of this hit. I just want to take the damage.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, yeah.
So you got to think of this as like chess and not checkers, because, or I guess you could think of it as checkers. You get their one like piece, but because they crotch canceled you, they're eating three pieces. Yeah.
And a king, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a caveat to this. I don't actually like the adage "don't get hit." I say you can take the hit if you get a better trade out of it.
Okay.
And so, always getting a hit is not necessarily the best thing.
And then shots fired at Isaiah.
No, he would agree.
On Twitter.
Yeah, he would agree with me from a game theory standpoint. In Smash 64, if you get hit, you're screwed because of the hit stun. But in Melee, if you could afford a trade that benefits you, then you go for it. Now, how does that? So some things are actually really good. Now, how does Falco rack up damage on you? What do you hate about Falco from playing the match?
Oh, so many things. Let's see. I don't really hate lasers like everyone says, but maybe I'm not facing good enough Falcons. That's probably it. But I really hate up tilt. I hate crouch cancel sign and spaced back airs, like auto cancel back airs.
Okay. You don't like lasers that don't lead into anything.
Oh no, I'm fine with lasers that don't lead into anything.
Exactly. But you hate lasers that lead to things.
Yes, obviously.
Okay. That's actually really important in this matchup. I think a lot of people, they are very short-sighted and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm getting lasered. But laser's only 2%.
Right, that's what I've learned. I think that's one thing I do know, is like I've played a lot of Falco, I realized that like shouldn't panic if I'm getting shot with lasers. I have to like be more careful. Yeah.
Did I spell crotch wrong? All right.
I don't know. People are saying crotch in the chat.
I don't know. Okay, so here's my base game plan. A lot of what you told me is very similar. I haven't put it. This isn't all encompassing, but my goals as Sheik, if I'm at low percentage, is I want to find grab opportunities that lead into tech chases.
Okay.
And so, anything that could lead into a grab, and eventually.
So your entire goal, low percentage, is to get a grab.
Part of it. If I find direct straight hits, like you mentioned, like fair, back air, of course I'm going to take it. If I get an air out of shield, I'll take it.
We'll take it.
But the thing is, it's like, if I had a choice between a fair and a grab, I take the grab.
Okay.
Because
you can get more damage off a grab? Is that what you're saying?
You want to, yeah. Ideally, as you get better, that's the one that will get you the kill. And I like to give this analogy, as you become better. And the thought I like to give is, how many openings does it take for you to get a stock on average? And
wouldn't know.
So that's one thing you can look up in your videos. And
sure.
I think for newer players, it's like 2 hits per opening, right? Or 1 or 2 hits. And so it usually takes you like 7 or 8 openings.
Okay.
But as you get better, and if you like watch players like Mewtwo King or Kirby Kaze, once they get a grab, it's pretty much they're either doing 70 damage or they're getting their opponent off stage into something really good.
I do notice that about Mewtwo King. I'll have to watch more Kirby Kaze.
Yeah. And that's why also when like Shroom gets a hit on you as Marth, he's doing 60 damage to you or getting you off stage. So on average, he only needs like 2 to 3 solid openings before he takes your stock. And so you want to build up your combo game in a way that you minimize the number of neutral game openings you need. Because when you play, as you get better, the number of opportunities you will have will significantly decrease as their neutral game is better and as their punishment game is better. Because there are some players that you give them 4 grabs, you're done.
100%. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I want fairs, and I want fairs, bears, needles into grabs, and also anything that will lead into a knockdown situation. So sometimes you know how you can throw a fair and they get knocked down.
Yeah. Is there like percent for that?
It really depends on how you hit them into a platform or onto the ground. You can even throw a down smash at low percentage, and if they DI a certain way, then they land and they might have to tech. because on say tech, it's the same thing as getting a tech chase.
Right.
Yeah. At high percentages, or mid or high percentages, I want to, get them off stage somehow. I want to get a strong aerial on them to get them off stage. Usually this could be set up by a forward tilt or, some sort of tilt or launcher. And so these are the basic things I want to look for. And in my opponent, it depends on percentage, right? I don't want to give up shines at low percentage.
Or ever, but yeah.
Especially like low, because like you're guaranteeing them 60, or like if they're good. If they're West Balls level, then I'm eating a ton of damage.
Okay.
And I'm fighting for my life to leave. And at high percentages, there's some things you mentioned. You don't want to give them the up tilt or the shine or the bear, anything that want to get.
That's exactly what. Yeah.
So we're on the same page.
Good. I feel like yeah.
So once you know what your opponent's looking for and what you're looking for, you want to set up your game plan around these.
All right.
Yeah, and overall, this is a concept that you can apply to any matchup. Just ask yourself, how do they rack up damage and how can they kill you? And and same thing for yourself. How do I rack up damage and how can I kill them? And that's how you should center your game plan around. There's one interesting thing that I thought was brilliant, and what it comes to mind is when Armada played Amsa the Sheik main.
Force locked him, right?
It was really bad, but there's this one video from a while back where he's on Yoshi's story, and Armada is just camping underneath the platform with shield. And the reason why he does that is because Armada asks himself, what can kill me in this matchup? And it's a strong aerial. Armada was at 150. That's the only thing that can kill him, because in PAL, down throw doesn't work.
Right.
So he literally just camped underneath the platform and just waited for Amsa to just come there. Needles don't make a difference at this point. The only thing, and he just wrecked him because he just camped underneath. And it's just from an understanding of, the only thing that can kill me is a fair or a back air.
There's strong situational awareness.
Yeah. And so those are the little things you'll pick up as you begin to understand how matchups work. And I think that's what we want to talk about the most, is how do you form a plan against a character.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to go into neutral. So this is a fairly neutral position. Where both of you guys are reasonably not attacking each other, right?
Right. Different platforms, 0%.
Yeah. So what would be your approach here? If you had no reads, absolutely no reads, and you were just starting. You guys were both at 4 stock.
What was my approach, or what should my approach, or what I think my approach is right now?
Okay, what would you be doing in this game state?
I would probably, just knowing myself, I would be very aggressive with my stock advantage. I would just assume that any straight hit would get him to above 40, and then I'd be able to clean kill. What I think the answer would be to play campier, I guess, because I have a stock lead, so he has to approach me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends. There's also reads. There's so many factors that go into this. Overall, if I'm this is a brand new game, I like to throw out feelers. Basically, this is where you see what their weaknesses are and what their patterns are without giving up openings yourself. So you throw out testers.
What's an example?
So in this position, how are they approaching me? If I'm going to give them a little bit of time, are they pulling backwards? Are they aiming to get to the center stage? Are they throwing a lot of lasers?
Okay.
And if I ever get locked up, then I ask myself, what type of shield pressure did they do on me? And there's a bunch, right?
Yeah, I know there's a bunch. I couldn't classify them in my mind. It's kind of on feel, based on the few ones that I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I do know there's a huge variation. I know that I get punished for random ones.
Yeah.
By doing different things, yeah.
Okay. So one of the main things you want to learn here is try to decode that on your own. Think about what Falco's shield pressure is, and you can maybe even ask Crimson Blur. He's actually somewhat knowledgeable about about shield pressure. Yeah.
Sure.
So just ask yourself what, in any given situation where you find yourself confused, ask yourself what can they do and what can I do, and that'll help break it down. Let's see. So one of the main things you want to be wary about. So let's say you guys initiate. You went underneath the platform.
Okay.
And you guys are in this horizontal tumble, right? And what does Falco like to do when you're horizontal with them?
Shoot lasers.
Yes. So one of the most important things to do is, do you see that little blue bar?
Yep. Approximate distance.
That's the amount of distance like a short hop like running towards you covers.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
if you shoot a laser, you can jump that distance and do an aerial afterwards. If I like, is that what you're saying?
Well, like think of these as like little nodes. Like he can jump, hop, skip to the next node, right? Into you. So from here to here, this little like gap.
Okay.
All right. So you can flesh this out and figure this out for yourself, but you want to avoid those exact distances. And I'll explain why.
So right now I am outside of the distance, though, right?
Or yeah, you're not stepping on the hot spot.
Okay, right.
Reason why is like if you don't power shield, let's say he came from like back here.
Yeah.
He can shoot laser. And if like shoot laser, and if you're here, in this little node, then he gets like you're in a tough situation because he can aerial your shield, and then now you're stuck.
Right.
But because you're kind of in this half distance, if he lasers you, he stops here, and he can't instantly throw a hitbox at you. And so if you could get stuck in between these nodes, you can actually throw out a forward tilt or a jab before he jumps again.
Okay. Gotcha.
If that makes sense. So you want to. So if you want to conceptualize it in a different way, think of it as like short hop laser distances. If that makes sense. Hopefully that's.
Right. So I mean, their response though would be to mix it up by like shooting a couple in place, right, and then going, or what were you?
He would try to, before he fully commits, like dash around in between lasers and try to get, as soon as he sees that distance between you guys and he shoots a laser.
He's trying to set up that distance. Okay,
yeah.
I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
That's his goal. Okay.
But if he jumps in and commits, and like doesn't hit that sweet spot, then you can actually hit him when he lands. So a little tidbit. So what am I looking for here is, have you played Street Fighter before?
Very little. No.
Okay.
I mean, I know it. I've played it. Yeah.
So overall here, like, you can kind of experiment if you don't know. Nair out of shield is one thing you absolutely have to practice. And wave dash out of shield.
Okay, that's what Flash told me too.
Yeah, the reason why is that if you're in that sweet distance, you can bail yourself out with a wave dash if they laser into you.
What do you mean by, like, if I'm in that sweet spot between the appropriate approximate distances?
Well, let's say they're two approximate distances apart, and they shoot the first laser. Then before they jump, for the aerial, then you can wave dash out of the way, and kick him. So that's why that's like really important.
Take the laser and wave dash out of shield.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And respace. But overall, like I'm kind of like fishing for laser distances, and this is something you just want to experiment with Ben SW. I hope I'm not getting too conceptual here. Is look for distances where you can react and dash attack into them before they land if they laser too closely. Look for distances where you know you can just wave dash out, and also full hops are really good in this matchup.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if they're spamming the short hop lasers, you just avoid.
Full hop?
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know. I had heard. I was under the impression that like I didn't want to be in the air, so I was always like staying on the ground and trying to shield everything.
You don't want to be directly above them, but you can kind of like even this like decision kind of just jump, full hop jumping, like avoid, and come down with like an air to counter, like, because laser is actually pretty vulnerable. Like the Falco's like committing to a gun. So neutral air out of shield, and I'm not really going to go into shield dynamics this week.
Sure,
but
yeah.
we can explore that later. Once again, apply this principle over what they're looking for. I would say don't try to stay like horizontal too much with the Falco, because obviously like that's so good for them.
See, I did not know that. So in theory, I wouldn't want to be horizontal with them ever. I was always trying to stay grounded, like be on the same level as them. And I guess that is.
Well, if they have like a gap between you where they can laser, then like they have initiative.
Right.
So unless you're really comfortable playing out of shield, like it's something that you probably shouldn't want to be too fervent on staying on. Try to aim, like that's why you never play FD in this matchup. You want to like stay around platforms and stay diagonal.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. The bad Falcos, they'll let you forward tilt in between lasers. The good Falcos honestly got you in laser, like it's like crap. Like this is so like nerve wracking.
This sucks.
With a Falco like Bobak, like I could probably near out a shield like 9 out of 10 is shield pressure though. So against worse Falcos, if you're really good at near out of shield, like you can just get away with it.
Yeah, but I don't want to practice the. I have this expression because I played at other games.
Yeah.
Like I'm not too good at melee yet, but I was really high ranked in StarCraft and League of Legends. And one thing I learned about learning those games was that you don't want to grow the bone the wrong way. You have to break it later. Like if you learn a bad habit that works for now, you'll get better and better at it, and then you realize this is never going to be top players. You have to like crack that bad habit. So I really want to learn like the right top fundamental way to play, and that way, even if it's hard at first, it'll pay off a lot more later.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't want shortcuts that win me a lot in the short term because it'll just hurt me down the road.
Right. So let's go ahead and get started with the match, and I'll point out a few things. And I also have nifty drawing tool here.
I love it.
All right.
This is game 2 or game 1?
Game 1.
Okay. Game 1's my favorite.
Yeah. Is it because you win?
Yeah, absolutely. I was so excited that I took game up for that.
So a lot of mistakes like come from like decision making, and I think it's because you're impulsively doing attacks. Like that dash attack, for example, there's no reason for this dash attack, right?
Right.
Looking in hindsight.
It's definitely more of like a panic. Like I guess the habit would be when I'm under pressure by attacks, my instinct is not usually to run away. It's usually like I want to like make you feel the pain. I want to like turn it back on you. And in general, this seems to get me punished a lot more than just like holding shield and rolling or dashing on a shield and stuff like that. So
yeah,
something I'm interested in breaking.
I think a lot of it is I think what you could do is try to play more reactionary, and like it's okay to
not be always yeah.
Not to act on impulse.
Yep.
Okay, so that was really good. And so one thing I noticed is that Bobak doesn't really laser much. I'm going to go back a little bit.
Sure.
So that was really good that you wave dash back and you caught the roll.
Okay.
I think there's like little things that you could do, and this is just from situational awareness. So we're gonna go back to after the. Does the grab come? Sorry, stream. All right. So
there's a grab.
So in this grab, it feels like
I had no plan.
It feels like you throw them off, and now I don't know what to do.
Yes, that's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah.
I was so far, like when I back throw when it's right next to the ledge, I feel like I have some options. Like I know if they go high, I can jump up and back air. Otherwise, if they go low, I can grab the ledge and try to do back airs that way. But in this situation, we were far from the ledge and he went off of it. I had no idea what to do. I didn't know what to cover.
Yeah. So in this situation, because you're so centered in the stage, like I actually would.
Well, first of all, I want to ask: was it even a good idea to back throw? Should I down throw and go for tech chase?
So I think if you were here, instead, I would have done the back throw. But because you're so into the stage, it's not like you're deeply getting them off stage. and so like
Right.
your opening is going to be really difficult to cover, and like you're going to have to like have like a hard godlike read to like even get anything off of this.
Okay. That's funny. I totally agree with you. I think like I watch Meat King gods, right? And so I get this impression in my head that if I could just throw him off the stage, he'll always die. I just get that vibe, and that doesn't seem to come true a lot. So,
like the thing is, like even if you like do something hard, like you jump off Nair, like if they see you jump, they can react to you.
right. I mean, he could like probably will jump down there, right? Like right back at me, and that would.
Yeah, it's like kind of like risky.
Okay.
And so in here, what I would have personally done instead is I would have just held stage.
Just like back up center stage.
Like here, like I would have like not run as far, and then because like they can panic out of this, and then now the roles have reversed, and now
And now I'm on the outside.
Yeah, so think of this as capture the flag.
Okay, so if I don't have like a hard read or like guaranteed option coverage on his like return to stage, should I just try to retake center stage? So that should be my primary goal.
Yeah, just to keep them contained. I think the main thing you want to realize is going back to like watching Dewan, like notice how he always has you in the air or in the corner. And also and realize that your decisions become so much easier from having that like control. Like trust in the fact that you will have easier decisions to make.
I would love easier decisions. I would love that. So I'm all about that life.
Yes, you are all about that life. So, good Nair?
Thanks.
Oh, you missed the grab again.
I should have gone for another grab. I should have.
Or you missed the tech chase. Tech chase, dash attack's actually fine.
Okay. I've been working on tech chase reaction, but it just still like obviously even the top Sheiks can't do it consistently yet. So.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I guess I'll go for reads. Oh, thanks.
Good cover there. A lot of it's situational awareness, so I actually have a little tutorial on how I do it.
Oh, awesome. It's in this PowerPoint. This is an amazing PowerPoint. You have to send me this.
Yes. So the first thing you want to do is when you get a grab, ask yourself, what is your opponent's percentage? Where on the stage did I get the grab? And can they get a platform or go off stage?
They can get platforms off the down throw?
Well, I guess if you're on a platform... Well, basically any way where like your down throw like will lead to no more follow-ups.
Okay.
Like, for example, like if you down throw like close to the side, like they can just go off stage and grab ledge, right? And that is your...
Or on the top platform, I guess they can go to the... yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So when you start the down throw, pay attention to their DI. So like when they're airborne, right?
Yep.
And put yourself in a position so that you're facing right in front of them when they land. So because the reason why I say that is...
So in practice, that would mean either staying straight ahead or turning around, right?
Yeah. So like if you down throw, right?
Sure.
Like this Falco, like either it kind of goes like this way or like this, right? Behind.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And if they DI hard away, you want to just walk a little bit forward. And if they're behind you, you just flick your control stick behind.
Got you.
As soon as you see that. The reason why you want to do that is because it gives you a larger reaction window for your later steps of the tech chase. Like, because, you know, it sucks to input as many buttons as you can, and you can mess up, right?
Right.
So you want to minimize the number of things you have to do on the raw reaction. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. That makes sense. The way you can be more consistent over 100 games.
Yeah. Do you have any questions? Sorry, I feel like this is like a one-way thing.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be a one-way thing. You have all the knowledge, and I'm just absorbing it. But yeah, the question I would be like, when you turn around to do the grab, are you doing a pivot grab, or do you mean you just turn around and get ready for?
Yeah, I just turn around. You have like a time window where as soon as you see them go have that parabolic
like a DI.
You could just press back, and it's a really simple input.
Okay, cool.
All right. So the second step is to see, like, and I guess in this particular example, they landed in front of you, right?
Yes.
Or they're DIing in front of you. So now here's where the next decision comes in.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah. So if you position like correctly, meaning like you're facing it right in front of them, look for the following indicators. These are like graphical indicators. And so if you see like this like green impact come off the ground, that's a graphic.
Only green if he doesn't tech?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god. The insight. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so if he didn't tech, here's like, you want to think of like percentages and where they are on stage, because this will determine your next punish. So if they're low, once again, this is kind of like a feeler thing, because nothing is really fully guaranteed on the in 2015. Nothing is really fully guaranteed.
I've heard you can like DI it up or smash DI it up or something. Jab reset.
Yeah, West balls can smash DI a jab reset at 0.
It's West balls, dude.
Yeah, so like it really boils down to like the way I think of it is like how technical are they, and if they're like super technical, then right from the get go I'm doing double jab or like jab F tilt. Sure. Because like their likelihood of being able to tech a single jab reset is very high, and you'll eat a shine, and you never want that happening to you.
I get nightmares of that happening to me. I played West balls at Apex in some friendlies. I'm sure that happened to me a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So I got shined a lot.
So if they're low, like less than like 20%, I would say go for a jab reset. And if they're not super good, that means you could just grab again and continue the combo.
Sure.
If they're mid-high, this is where it starts to get tricky, and this is where you're going to have to use some intuition. There's multiple things you could do. You could do a double jab. If they can SDI one jab, but they're not really good at it, then the second jab will be their checkmate.
Sure.
If they're pretty good at teching, then you do jab into F tilt, and it's a launcher on them.
Okay.
And then you can either get a dash attack or like fall them on a platform or get a fair. This is more the KK thing. KK likes to use U-tilt or up smash. I'm not a fan. It's more like I don't really understand it.
Can I ask why not up smash?
Up
in general, this is what I do. Is like if I predict a mistech, because usually I can't do it on reaction yet, as I will go for the up smash, and that usually keeps the combo going decently well.
It's less guaranteed because you have to predict and you have to guess.
Right. Oh, it's always a guess with up smash.
The timing window to do up smash is really more strict, and so I think you can, but it's just harder to do.
Okay, so these are on reaction.
Yeah.
Up smash would be more. Okay, that makes a lot of sense because I've been doing guessing up smashes a lot.
And then note how they DI for future reference. So if you notice the first time it's like, oh, they're really good at SDIing, then you could do jab F tilt next time and launch him.
Okay.
To give a little anecdote, like one thing that really won me the set against Eisengo Bay, and what made me go like decide like I'm just gonna down throw tech chase him, was the fact that he didn't know how to SDI.
So you just kept the jab resets going.
I just kept the jab resets going. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna use F tilt. I'm not gonna up smash. I'm not gonna up tilt because this guy doesn't know how to jab reset. And so
just tech chase on reaction, so like a high percentage of them kill him.
Yeah, there's like 3 stocks in one game where I tech chased him from 0 to 70 to off stage.
I would love to watch that game in another episode, or I don't know, later.
I wish I did, but I didn't record it.
Oh, it wasn't recorded. Okay, never mind.
And then if they're really high, this is where like a 50-50 comes in on a no tech. Jab won't get you anything at this point. Even if they suck at jab resetting, they're going to get out. Sure. It's a 50-50, and this is kind of where you do an experiment. If they're... First time I like to just throw out an F tilt, and if they are hard DIing it away, then you're not going to get the fair. But if they don't DI it, then you get a fair and you get to knock them off stage.
And if they are hard DIing away, the D smash will do amazing.
Yeah, then it's a mix-up.
I understand. It's like the first example I've ever heard of a mix-up. Everyone always talks about them. I know I was listening to like Newton interviews, and like it's all about 50-50 mix-ups in Sheik matchups. And I had no idea what that meant.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear this example.
Yeah. Or you can up tilt. I don't know how up tilt shenanigans work. All right. So let's say if you notice like no green stuff hit the ground, and you see the teching like the flashy animation,
Yeah.
that means that the person teched, which means one of three things: they teched in place, they tech left, or they're teching right. And so the rule of thumb is you prep for the tech in place and you react to the roll.
Makes sense. You don't have enough time for the
Yeah. Because as it says in this like convenient graphic, teching in place has a shorter animation and a harder reaction window. So if you like try to prep for the roll and try to like react for the tech in place, then like it becomes a lot harder. So always try to prep for the tech in place.
Okay.
All right. And so my little gimmick to like see if they like roll is like I like to look at I like to take my eyes off the stage once I realize that they teched. And if you notice like shifts in movement of like the camera or like the timer in relative to the platforms, then that means they're rolling.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Because
yeah, it makes sense. I can totally see it. I never thought about that.
Because if they roll, then the camera shifts out.
So you don't even look at them. Your eyes unfocused, and you just look for the camera moving, and then you immediately go boost grab in that direction.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah, but everybody has their everyone has a different way of doing it, but that's how I personally do it, and that's how
that gives you a more advanced notice than trying to look at Falco's like hand flip animation and figure that out, right?
Yeah, because like my I've taken those reaction tests. You know those like reaction games?
Yeah, I just did one. There's like one for Fox tech chasing. It's on Reddit now.
Oh really? That's sick.
Yeah, it's actually super amazing. I'll link it in the chat later, but like it's like the Fox falls and then goes left, right, or up, or text in place, and you have to like hit your keyboard in the time, and it gives you like how close you were to the exact window or whatever. It's pretty sweet.
That's sick. Like, but when I play Counter-Strike or play those like flash games of reaction, my reaction speeds are actually really terrible. Like, I'm like below average. Like, I'm like at like 280 milliseconds. I don't know what's average, but it's like I'm like 50% like slower than people. So I have to use these. I have to use like every little like advantage I get to like be able to react better.
That makes sense.
So, and as they're at higher percentages off to switch to launchers to get a finishing move, and try to switch off of grabs, because as much as you want to get you're good at grabs, there's some percentage of a time where you're going to mess up. It's a non-zero number.
So you don't want to open yourself up. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And so start thinking about how you can place dash attacks and F tilts, or some way that you can launch them off either onto a platform or into something that will get them off stage.
I've never thought about F tilting in second place. I need to try that. I'd love to see that in action.
So they tech roll, and they're above like 50. Unless you're really confident in you have like a tech roll read, like with newer players, like they always have some sort of motive thing. It's like, oh crap, I always got a tech roll away. Unless you have that specific a read, opt for a dash attack starting around like 50.
Sure. That's what I do. After 40, I'm always like trying to get dash attacks.
After 45, more specifically.
Oh, it's a little tip. Okay.
All right. Because either like you're gonna get more dash attacks if they're a fast follower and they miss DI, or you're gonna get a dash attack into forward tilt, and it's fun times for Sheik to like just cash in. If they tech in place, if they tech in place, you can go for the regrabs, because F tilt's kind of hard to react to. It's kind of hard to react with because the hitbox doesn't come out as quickly as grab.
Yeah, it's like it takes forever.
Correct me if I'm wrong, stream. I don't know frames. I just have
feels like it takes longer than to me. It's the foot.
And then once again, pay attention to their DI. A good fox like Joey or Lucky will always know how to DI the dash attack away. So as a way to mix it up on him and keep him honest, I like to do the down smash as a mix-up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Some other things, I know we talked about this before at Apex. Actually, this could be a featured concept. It's the idea that if you're late, like you want to still hold.
Yes, this was a huge piece of advice from you. Did I try and explain it?
Yeah. Do you want to explain it?
So yeah, it was like you down throw kick chase them, and they would roll away. And if you just feel that you're not going to be there in time to get the follow-up regrab or whatever your dash attack, then you would run up, space out of the range of their second place shine, or whatever the reaction would be, and then do a fair.
Yeah.
and then whether or not that hits them, like if they get their shield up or whatever, or they spot dodge, like you're still in a better position. So
Yeah.
space fair, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Or you can do a bunch of things. And this is one of the things that you can do one of those thought experiments where sometimes, if I know I'm late, I just walk up to them and I don't do anything. And this is called
The mango.
It's called the mango, or it's called letting your opponent hang themselves. That's a term coined by Zozo, I believe, from New England. And basically, like, everybody has that impulse scared reaction.
Yeah.
And so for everybody it's different. So sometimes when I get a punish, I'll end it a little bit early and walk up towards them and hold position just to see how they hang themselves.
Because they're expecting you to do, run and grab or run and dash attack or run down smash. They're going to do a bad defensive option is what you're saying.
Yeah. If they're bad, then they'll always do the same one. If they're good, they'll start to get conscious of like what you're picking up on them if you're punishing them. But sometimes if the game is really close and I need to secure a kill later, I might not just punish them now, but I have that read for the future.
Oh, that's amazing.
The one time I beat Larry last weekend, Def, there's this one specific read where if I scared him after he lasered me, he would roll behind. And then the one way I roll backwards, and so I let him replay the situation. I was like, I let him do it a couple times. And then the next time he does this laser, and like I was ready to like counter hit him, and he panicked. I knew he was gonna roll, so I ran to where he was gonna roll, and I down smashed him even before.
Sick.
And so that's how Mango actually gets his little reads. It's like he notices these things and lets their opponents hang themselves.
Okay.
So the Hungry Box special, this is one example. Hungry Box special is that on last stock, if it's really close, he'll do double and triple rolls.
Why?
Because it's not expected, and it's like a really...
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. But Mango's aware of the rolls. Anyway, so let's continue on the match. Those are like all the slide concepts I have today. We're actually going to go to skip to that moment in match 2.
Yeah.
Where you kind of, for
let
lack
it all
of...
go.
Yeah. You let it go like a middle-aged divorced person just gaining weight and having no self-esteem.
I mean, I'm literally choking all over the stream and no one gives me the Heimlich.
Yeah.
Okay, so set the situation up. I won game 1. I am now up 2 stocks, 2 full clean stocks, 2 quick ones on Bobak here. I'm super crazy excited because he's a known player. He was in the combo combo video. I would love to win this match. It's on stream at the Foundry, and here's what happened.
All right, so we start. And so right from the get-go, you gotta be aware of like what hitboxes your opponent can throw. Like, you throwing this back air preemptively and then landing down is just a setup for disaster to get dared or like get counter hit. So
right.
One thing you always want to be aware of is ask yourself, if I miss, will I get punished? Because
that's a great question to ask, yeah.
Because good players don't get free hits.
Yeah, there you go. Right. Oh my gosh. The worst part about getting punished by Falco is that it always leads to more punishment.
Yeah.
I feel like if I get a fair on him at the start, it's like, whatever, I got a fair. If he gets a shine on me, I feel like, oh god, here comes 60%.
And I almost feel like, from watching this video, that it's dawned on you, I can beat a ranked player. I am 1 stock away from beating a former ranked player.
In my head, I was like so pumped. I was like, there's no way I lose. I won. I was getting ready to celebrate.
Like, you in your head were like, I'm going to beat a ranked player for the first time.
Sorry, say that again. I lost the sound.
I'm going to beat a former ranked player in NorCal now.
Yes, I was so pumped. I don't know.
And I feel like that can be told. It's kind of weird how like you can infer these things just from like the way they're playing. Like, I was nervous Twitch 1, the shield grab, the random F tilt, the random dash attack, the desperate needles. It's like you're like, oh crap.
I wasn't even oh crap. I was just like, I got that. I was just throwing moves out. I figured no matter what. then I start to get oh crap. After he kills me so badly on this stock, I start to think, oh no. And maybe right now I start to realize it because he's starting to be. I have the kill right here, and I don't.
Too excited.
It's just I get too excited. Yep.
Oh gosh. Like nervous roll into stage.
Yeah. You can see it on my face. I'm like, oh wait a minute.
That was a janky grab.
Let's get serious.
Yeah, like you're getting like janky hits, and you're just like hoping these moves work.
Yeah, that was my whole strategy. I just get a couple janky hits. I have so much free percent to work with that I have to kill him, but it doesn't actually work. He has a better game. Like, look at him, he's controlling the crap out of me.
Oh, you jump for no reason. Yeah, there's like a lot of just little things you could have just done to get a hit, and I'm pretty sure you know.
Yeah.
So you always want to understand like what is the situation, where are they at, what character are they, what percentage are they at, what are they looking for, what am I looking for to secure the kill, what's your win condition. All right.
I remember I saw a great video, one of Mango's analysis, and he was playing PPMD, and he talked about how if he gets a good stock on him or whatever, and he starts gets frustrated, he gets angry,
and
he starts approaching badly with Fox against Falco.
Yeah.
He said like he took 140% combo and like slowed down and realized that I'm playing this. He realized in his own head that he was playing stupidly and aggressively, and like slowed down and got the kill, like cleaned up. He knew he was ahead on that stock, and that I think that was really impressive. And it was like a super good skill to learn.
Yeah.
Like to realize how your emotions are affecting your play and like alter the fly.
Dude, this game takes your soul away. It's like.
Yeah, I know.
Like it's like one of those games where you can tell like how the person feels based on how they're playing.
Yep.
Okay, so you're in this situation, right? You're in the clouds. You just died, but you got resurrected somehow because you have an extra life.
Amazing, Smash Bros.
Yeah, take these 5 seconds just to unwind.
Hey, that's a random, probably a dumb noob question, but I never just thought about it. If I leave the platform later, do I have the same amount of invincibility?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Never knew that. I'm always like hitting down so fast because I want to get the most invincibility.
Or like more or less, it's like roughly the same. If there is a case, you can correct me if I'm wrong, stream. Just think. Okay, what's my win condition here, and what are they looking for?
My win condition here would be any clean hit. To be honest.
Any clean hit. Now remember.
Any clean dash attack, F tilt, forward air. Nair out of shield. Almost anything but a needle, I guess, would send him in an edge guard position. Down smash, up tilt. Almost every move I feel like would do it at this percent. So.
Right. So you just want to relax and unwind. For me, like if I had a very frustrating stock, I tell myself like little things. Like I tell myself, well, okay, just gotta relax, stick to the game plan, and then I just calm myself down. And you have the lead here, and you can set the tempo because the initiative's on him. So what I would do, I don't know how Bobek approaches, so I don't really have a read. I would try to get him into a really tough decision, not necessarily force myself in the shield, but notice how like he's willing to put himself in the corner. Like, you see how he's bottom left and like running away?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't get the hit or the kill, at least try to get as much stage as you can, because like I've been saying, if you have stage and they're not moving around, your decisions are easier.
Okay.
Yeah. So you did that, but then you got to be careful of your spacing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had just gone straight to center stage instead of like falling into that, I would have felt much more comfortable.
Yeah.
I just realized that I'm never thinking about stage positioning.
Yeah.
I'm always like trying to get the hit no matter what angle it is, and that is interesting.
Yeah. Even here, that down smash. So you get off stage.
Yeah.
You get this nice trade. That down smash. was really. You could have just controlled stage.
Yeah.
And I think
Yes, it was greedy.
Yeah, you were
It was
greedy.
desperate. Yeah, absolutely.
And now you get punished for like another like 40% off that, and you lost control, just off that down smash.
Then you can tell right here I'm already flustered because I would never miss the ledge.
Yeah.
Like I would go to ledge every time in a million. So yeah.
Yeah.
Got me good.
Well, poor you. So.
Poor Zoo, poor me.
Poor you. So we're about an hour in, and we want to keep consistent to a rough time. Before we close out, do you have any questions before we close?
Yeah, I would love like practice advice. I'm a notorious grinder.
You're a notorious grinder. Okay.
I'm very good at just sitting around in 20XX and practicing for any game. For League of Legends, for StarCraft, I can just sit there and get the thing crispy. So things I can practice with that, and then also maybe a match to look at that you think maybe would illustrate some of these concepts.
I would look at anything of Kirby Kazi against a Falco, if that's our focus.
Okay.
And just look at how he controls Falco, because once like KK gets like in someone's face, it's so scary for the Falco player. And I begin to think like, why is that scary for Falco? And like, how is KK like getting so much control?
Okay.
Now,
I'll definitely watch some of these matches. Because I've seen, a lot of high-level Sheik matches because I do watch a lot of VODs. But I don't think I'm looking at the right things.
Yeah.
And I think to be able to look at things like stage positioning and like the choices they make before the combos are probably pretty important.
Yeah. And then I would my personal training thing. I noticed this with Weed Lord. With your match against Weed Lord is that you missed a lot of basic bread and butters, like short hops that were full hops.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Oh no. I think I killed him, guys. I'm sorry. Alright, let me answer some questions in the meantime. 0 to Hero, while he comes back. Alright, let me look up 0 to Hero, hashtag. Dude, I killed Ben SW, I'm so sorry. Oh, he lives.
Holy crap.
Dude, cough it up for Atrioc for surviving. I can't hear you, dude. Hello? Hello? I can't hear you, dude. Oh, dude, I could hear you. Hello? No, I actually can't. Just use your webcam, dude. Hello? I can't hear you, dude. Oh, I can hear you now.
Yes? You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, thank God. All right, cool. Let's see.
All right.
Good? Okay. Sorry about that. I literally almost died. Press 1 if you come back from hungry box. Also made me want to laugh again, so I almost coughed it up another lung.
Oh my.
Very, very funny chat. I'm glad I didn't die because I would have lost all that knowledge you just imparted on me.
Well, the stream would have still left with it.
No, let's not worry about the stream. Let's worry about my life.
Okay.
Have fun.
All right. You're gonna have to speak up. You're super low.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm speaking up. That's ding. Yeah, I mean, that was like a real life show compared to what I just did in the Go Back game, so good illustration.
All right. So, what are some of your closing thoughts or questions?
I think I asked questions about lots to watch and also some things to practice.
20. So, tech chasing with the 20XX Falco.
So you just set a level 1 Falco, go to FP, and just start down throwing and very good reactions.
Yeah, and then what I also like to do is I believe Eggum already. Oh, dude, you're like hella buzzing.
Buzzing?
All right, don't scratch your head or your ears. Okay. Okay. So, Eggum has done this on a while back, but I like to turn it on Bowser. And Bowser at a 9 handicap with like 0.5 like knockback or whatever it is.
Okay.
And I just like to like spam aerials, so like I'll do like 100 fairs, like 100 back airs, 100 nairs, just like in succession. And then
turn on the okay, what are you practicing?
well, I don't have 20XX, but I imagine you could do it with the L cancel.
You're practicing like make sure you hit the L cancels?
Yeah. Yeah. And then so you want to break up like tech skill into modular things. So once I'm comfortable with doing like 100 fairs, then I do fair jab, run away. I do like fair jab, fair jab, fair jab. And then once I get comfortable with that, I do like fair jab, dash away, or like fair jab, fair, like, and I add things to it.
Okay, so you're practicing not just like individual pieces, which is what I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. And so I think that's like pretty much it. I think the main thing is just like to just get a lot more experience, and I think Crimson Blur will help you a lot with that.
I might go brag with him after the show and see apply these concepts.
Sounds good. So let's go with some questions. How fast do most pro Sheiks near out of shield? I can't hit jigs with it. If I try to do fast, my other hand shield grabs. So how I like to do that is so I just slide my finger like this to do near out of shield, and you want to make sure that I guess the butt part of Sheik can hit Jigglypuff. Then that means you can do it really quick. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if it's I think there's some leniency in like how quick you do it. And just make sure that you get it out within a certain window between like Falco's pressure or anything that's laggy. I'm not sure if you have to be frame perfect, although it helps. Alrighty. Anyway, so I think that's pretty much it for today. And what concepts do you want to go over next week? Or should we decide on that later this week?
We can decide on it later, but one thing I'd like to do is watch the Speedlord match eventually.
Okay.
See what went wrong there, because that went really wrong.
Yeah.
And I would love to talk about punish games really on characters other than Falco.
Okay, sounds good.
I feel like my knowledge of that is really, really shallow. The only thing I know about is Falco. It's the only thing I really watch and really play. So I'd love to expand my horizons on that kind of stuff. So
sounds good. All right, we're gonna end the stream chat. Before we close, can you guys recommend a raid?
Oh yeah, let's raid some.
Dude, I had 300 viewers. Holy crap.
300. 0 to Euro. We're gonna blow it up.
Damn.
It's gonna be so much bigger when I win Evo based on this training.
Dude.
You know,